Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to add filtering to our front end so that user can filter flowers by its tags. And first of all, I've created a data source here that's drawing the tags from the tags section. Call it tags, obviously, and I'm just passing the name of each tag from the database to the page flowers, which we are currently working on. Okay. So first of all, I'm just going to create the form like so, and I've prepared this in advance. So as you can see, I'm just defining a form, given it ID of filter, so that's how we will find it in JavaScript later. And I have a select box named tags array, so this way we are denoting that we are actually sending an array of values to the server. Gave it ID of tags as well, and then for each tag name, so let me just quickly show you debugger so that you can see the data source. Here we have our flowers that we are already outputting, and here is our tags data source, and you can see every entry node has a name node with a handle and a value. So in here I'm just using handle of every tag name as a value for our option, because this is what we'll be sending for filtering, and I'm also outputting here the value, the name of the node, so basically this thing over here. Okay, so let's take a look at how this looks on the front end. And refresh. Oh, maybe I forgot to save. Yes, okay. So refresh, and now we should get a select box. So let's submit this, and as you can see we get some tags in here. So I'm just going to copy this and go to URL decoder just to show you what we are actually getting here. And as you can see, this is our field name with these braces we are denoting that we are actually sending multiple values, and then we are assigning interesting, yellow and orange. So if we take a look at our debugger with these parameters in the URL as well, we can see the format in which we are getting them, and this is it. But this isn't really practical for filtering. So let's go over to our data sources, and here under the what we want to filter flowers, so we want to filter flowers by tags. And if I, for example, add a tags, because we are filtering flowers by tags, we want to actually get the format like this one with commas. So we want to filter values by blue, comma fancy, comma green, blah blah blah. And if we take a look at parameters, so let's see, equal param. Alright, is it params? Like so. We can actually use all of these values for our filtering depending on our needs. And you can see that our URL-tags is here as well. So what we could do is something like this. At the moment we could do, for example, this, comma, this, comma, this. But we never know how many tags the user will get, so we need to somehow fix this problem. And this will actually be addressed in the next version of Symphony. But until then we will have to use some JavaScript. So let me do just that, and then we'll get back to the filtering. Okay, so I've done this, and let me refresh the page. And as you can see, now we are getting a nice little field. And for that I've used selectize.js, which is a really nice JavaScript library for creating this kind of stuff, for filtering and adding tags and such. So as you can see, we can add multiple tags, and now when I click submit, I will get all my tags which are comma separated. So let me just put this here, the code, and as you can see, we get tags equal yellow plus purple plus blue plus orange. And I made a mistake here, so let me get into my JavaScript file quickly. Okay, fixed it now. So let me explain what's happening here. First of all, I have included some selectized CSS that's coming with that library. I have also included the selectize.js library, and then I've also included my custom script, which we can find in here. There we go. So first of all, I'm getting my tags field in here, and I'm instantiating a selectize on this field. So this is basically my select field. With this, I'm just converting it into this nice format that enables us to add tags easily like this. And then I have a function, a function that is getting my filter, which is actually my whole form. And then I'm saying, you know, when user tries to submit this form, execute filter by tags function, which is defined over here. So in here, I'm first getting all selected elements, all selected option tags in the selected variable. Then what I'm doing is I'm mapping this function over here over every selected item. So basically I'm getting array of values from it. So, and then after I've done this, after I've got all the values in array, I'm joining this array with a comma. So in the end I'm getting something like this: tag 1, comma, tag 2, tag 3. And after I've done this, I'm creating a new field which is input, and I'm actually making it hidden. So it's a hidden field, and I've given it a name of tags, and I've assigned the value of the tags, basically this thing over here, which are tags that the user has selected. And the next thing I'm doing is I'm disabling my regular tags field, so the one that we are actually using for selecting tags, and I'm doing so because this way this field will not get sent to the server. And then I'm just appending this newly created hidden field that I'm using for formatting my selected tags in a nice string that's comma separated, so that it's more useful for filtering. Okay, and now let's just take a quick look again at the data source. As you can see, I'm filtering my flowers by URL-tags, and then I'm just adding a colon over here. I don't know if you can see it, and I'm not putting a default value in this part over here, and this way I'm telling the data source, if this parameter is not present, that simply do not filter by this criteria. So let's see if all of this works. Okay, maybe let's get only flowers that have blue in them for starters. Let's submit this, and there we go. Now we have only flowers that have tags blue on it. So we need to fix a couple of things here. Primarily, you can see that our tags aren't saved, so we need to fix this. And let me just quickly do this off camera, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, so now things should work. Let's test it. If I submit now, I should still have my tag selected. So let's see what I did. I've just added an if case in here that tests whether the current query string, which we can see in the debugger over at the parameters. So let me just change this to equals params, like so. And as you can see over here, so we have our current query string, and then here I'm just checking if the value is contained. Now this is not really ideal thing, because there can be a plethora of problems here. You know, we can have uppercase, lowercase stuff. We can have we can have a tag red or a tag red stuff like so, and the tag that has the name, the handle red, will still match and be marked as selected even though it's not. So we should probably first split by comma and then do the search on this new string, new array actually. But for now this should be enough. I will leave this too. And as you can see, we have attribute XSL command, which tells XSL that we want to actually set a certain attribute, namely the select attribute, on our parent node. So if this case is true, then we are going to add selected attribute like so on our parent node. So this is a handy way in which you can simply apply attributes that you want. Okay, so now we have one last problem to take care of. If I try to move to another page, you will see that we lose our filtering options. So let's go and fix this. Okay, so I'm in my pagination partial, and here I've just created a new variable called queryString, so basically shortened for query string, and I've started it with question mark, and then I'm just selecting the value of current query string, and I'm also disabling output escaping because current query string is wrapped in C data tags, as you can see here. So let me just make this a little bit more visible, maybe like this, and you can see everything is wrapped in C data. So if I were to just remove this and output stuff without this disable output escaping, then I would get also C data in my link. And now everything should work. So if I select multiple parameters, submit, and next page, you can see here at the bottom that I am retaining my tags. So if I go to the next page, there we go, tags are still contained. Okay, so that's all for today, and see you in the next one.